Hello, this is David from DN Cognitive Counseling. Tonight we have a question on the video I did, Am I Too Messed Up to Be in a Relationship? And the question goes like this. First off, I want to say that I have a new favorite video. And I thank you very much for that, by the way. But I'm sure it goes to shock you, but I have a question. When you say too messed up, I'm assuming you meant too messed up because of previous relationship experiences. What if you feel too messed up in that you have too many problems, baggage to expect, and ask a person to deal with? And I think it's an excellent question, and I want to actually expound on this because I think it's a very important one. First off, in my original video, when I said too messed up, I meant it either way. In too much baggage that you've had in the past, but also too much issues that you have yourself. I'm going to give you an example just to help you out. Many years ago, I was seeing somebody who recently broke up in a relationship where she was almost looking to get engaged because the person found out that she had an anxiety disorder, was on medication. And the person was afraid that if she were to get pregnant, she would lose that ability to take the medication, and they were worried what's going to happen to this person if they continue to stop using the medication, and they couldn't do it and they broke up with her. And this person was devastated. You know, here they are trying to do better, trying to get themselves help, trying to take care of themselves, and they were discriminated away because this person said, I can't deal with this. I don't know what's going to happen if. Well, sure enough, she got married. And she ended up having 5 kids and doing very well. And she was able to get through pregnancies and do very well. Now, does that mean there weren't bouts of problems and anxiety and stress? Absolutely. But there are people that were absolutely fine, and then there were major issues that took place after you got married. And you can't control for them. Just because you have anxiety, depression, bipolar, even schizophrenia, does not mean that you can't, while working with somebody, develop a relationship and maintain one. But the person has to be the right fit for that relationship. The person has to understand and be understanding and helpful. There have been plenty of people that have been involved in relationships through addiction, and they maintain the relationship through the addiction and through the recovery process. There are other people that don't have any diagnosable conditions, and they cannot maintain any relationship at all. Do not confuse the ability for somebody to have a relationship with two people being healthy. And I think a lot of times when you read through the literature, you will see that the mental health professionals like to denote that you must be working on yourself to be in a healthier relationship. But factually, it's untrue. The reality is a healthy relationship is different than a healthy individual or a healthy or somebody having all their symptoms under control. The same thing with physical conditions. Could you imagine saying to somebody, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to go anywhere near you because you have a physical issue or physical condition? Now, there are people that do that, sadly. But the reason why we connect with people and the reason why we fall in love with people has very little to do with those external issues. So if for some reason you're going to connect with somebody and love them, does that mean then you've connected with this person and you love them? Now you find out 2 years later, now they have a physical issue. Oh, well, Sal, now you have this, I have to get rid of you. Or do you say, no, I love you anyway. You matter to me more. So I stay in the relationship because of that love. We become very judgmental of self. Why should anybody want me? I'm not good enough. I have, as you put it, Jennifer, too much baggage. There used to be a TV show, a game show called Baggage. And it's something I actually enjoyed watching for a long time because you got to see the different baggage they put down, and people would choose them based upon the level of baggage they would accept. And I always found it funny on the show is, because if this is what they're telling you, can you only imagine what's behind it? But the reality I liked about the show is to say, everybody's got their baggage. There is no person out there that doesn't have baggage. Some issues that are going to be problems. which is the reason why when you find somebody with their baggage fits with your baggage, this is great. Now we can travel places together. But when you don't, and you don't allow for that, or you have all these ideas about cutting people off, more often than not, that's going to end up in a place where you're going to feel alone. People confuse the reason why they break up in their relationships. It has to do with only their personal failings, as like I am too much anxiety or too much depression. That's funny because my married clients with depression and anxiety are still married. So how did they do it? Because it's got nothing to do with that. It has to do with how much love is there in the relationship. Is the relationship working on the level that it should be or not? Because that's what destroys a relationship. Cancer in the relationship is lack of communication. You take any relationship and two people are not talking with each other, not dealing with each other, it's going to be the drifting apart. But if you're going through a hard time and you're open about it with your partner, and you're sharing with them and they're sharing back with you, you're more likely to be able to get through these things. It's okay to have baggage. It's okay to have lots of baggage. The idea is to have honesty and openness in that relationship. I want you to think about it this way. There's no way to control what happens over the course of years. There's no way to know who's going to get sick, who's going to get COVID, who's going to lose a job, who's going to develop depression later, who's going to have family members that have issues and problems that you're going to help. There's no way to know. So getting together with a person saying, I want to protect myself from all those things, that's not a possibility. But what is possible is to know whether or not you have a partner that's willing to go through the journey with you. Somebody that's willing to go through the hard part. Somebody that's going to be there through thick and thin. One of the reasons what I love in terms of the marriage vows that you see on TV or anywhere else, through sickness and through health, right? Through richer, through poorer. The concept is that life is the difficult parts too. And as we go through this and we see that people become stronger when they go through things together. This is the reason why when people go through war, they become a band of brothers. They've been through hell and back together, and that forges bonds, doesn't destroy them. You'd say if anything would destroy a relationship would be war. When we're going through war, I would hate it. I don't want to see any of those guys. No, that became my family. That was the forged togetherness that I felt. And that's a very powerful feeling. It's never the baggage that does it. We feel bad about our baggage sometimes. We judge ourselves by it. We think we're not worthy. And sometimes we make the mistake of pushing others away when we feel that not worthy feeling. And that's not good. What you want to do is allow the others in our lives to help us and to love us even when we have baggage. I hope that answers your question. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you like this video and hit like, and I hope you'll share it to those who might be helpful to. I hope that you'll hit subscribe, and if you'd like to, you can become a patron down below and hit the little icon there. And again, I thank you for joining us, and good mental health.